The Bodyweight Athlete 2.0 is dropping this week, and it's time for you to get excited, because right now I'm about to talk you through the progressions from manual 1 to manual 2, the reason why we've chose those progressions, and how they're going to impact you. As an athlete, this is a very, very incredible time for you. It's a very opportunistic time for you as well. And this is the most important thing. Yes, have fun. Yes, de-stress from the club environments. There's lots of uncertainty going on, but what I need you to do right now is focus on the real fundamental ability for you as an athlete to move and produce force. Ultimately, that's what you're judged on. So let's think about that. Some of the workouts, and that's why I actually put this out, is a lot of these workouts that I've seen people doing, these high lactate type workouts for athletes, are fucking useless. Especially for the guys that, if you're listening, and girls, if you're listening to me, then you know there's very, very team sport biased, sprint biased programs. And what you need to understand, again, and I'll say it over and over and over again, these high lactate yielding workouts, and where you believe they'll be burning more calories, the thermogenic effect, and yes, this may be true. However, what you need to understand is that it's fucking stupid. Okay? The reason being is that when we accrue too much lactate in the system, we train to exhaustion, etc., we actually can't recover enough. Within that, the tissue quality, which we're paid to have a high tissue quality, no one wants a fat racehorse, right? So that tissue quality needs to be maintained. And within those workouts, with the amount of stress that you're putting on those tissues, they just become soft. They don't become harder, they become less responsive, they become deconditioned, even to the point where we don't know how far and how long this is going to go. You can actually have deconditioning and muscle fiber type reversal. Okay? Think about that. That's huge, and that's really, really important to understand. Okay? So what I've done is I've put in place the Bodyweight Athlete, and if you've used the first program, thank you very much. You should be feeling the effects of it and greasing that groove lovely now. And hopefully it's a big eye-opener to what you should be doing as an athlete, because basically, if you can understand the qualities that we need to train and the concepts we need to train them in accordance to, then it doesn't matter what you use, because you can get the desired effect. And this is really important, because the internet has showed that a lot of people that have big followings know this much about making people better. So, what I've done here, outlined, this is 1.0. 1.0. And what we've done for you, I'm breaking it down. Speed, ballistics, strength, energy system. Okay? Speed, what have we done in the first block? We've looked at the skill of sprinting. We've put you in some of these positions. We picked the drills that are going to allow you to transfer and train and get better on your own, because that's a huge thing, because no one can coach you right now. So we're picking the drills that are going to allow you to move forward in a progressive manner. And if you understand, again, training is about sequencing. It's about timing. It's about when to move from one certain level of stimulus to another. So you maximize the most that you get. You don't become dumb to that stimulus, and then you push and put new life into the other one. Alright, so what we've done here, the skill, we've used long acceleration, so building you up to top end speeds, or close to top end speeds, so you can feel what that's like, and we can get the stress, we can get the nervous system stress, which is what we need. I'm so excited I can't even get my words out. And using hills for our accelerations. Using the hills is a great tool, because if you don't have a sled, you use a hill, use an incline. A, it's really good for your joints, and B, it gives you that resistance, and it puts you in the positions that you need to, because every time you hit the ground and you're up on that hill, whack, rate of force development through the roof, we're projecting forward, and we're making really good gains. We're making good gains all the time with what we're doing. So looking here now is our ballistics, which are jumps and our plyometric-y type movements. So with our extensive stuff, with all the circuits that you've been doing, we're building tissue tolerance and capacity. And if you've done them, and you've done them to the level that they're meant to have, you can see that they're very oxidative, meaning that you're going to get a little bit of a blow whilst you're doing it. And this is all good preparation. It's been a very oxidative program and a very, very oxidative approach for the first block. Not only for the preparation, but also the de-stress of the mental stimulus as well, because there's so much going on at the moment. From a well-being point of view, you don't need to be smashing yourself into the ground right now. You need to be taking care of yourself even more so. So motor control, tissue capacity, keeping that tendon compliance alive, which is really, really important. And I talked about that at the beginning. So when we look at our strength, and this is how things, what you need to understand is the interference effect and how these qualities interact with each other, which is so, so important. And because what we know in team sports and field sports is that we're judged, A, on our ability to play the game, but then our ability to negotiate ourselves around the pitch, right? So we need to get a grasp of how A influences B, influences C, and we move forward on. So if we know that sprinting is our most important quality that's trainable from a physical point of view, not a game sense point of view, then what we need to do is put ducks in a row that are going to allow us to sprint, to have the ability, the capacity, the tolerance to sprint and sprint faster and faster and faster. So let's put this all in context, because getting strong, okay, allows you to jump. Being able to jump allows you to tolerate the forces of speed and prepares you for speed. So we've gone top down here, but it actually works bottom up as well. And this is why you don't always need super heavy weights. Yes, you need some of that spinal stress, but where we are here, we're getting a lot of stuff from our jumping, preparing us for sprinting, and our yielding isometrics, which is very, very akin to eccentric sports strength training, is preparing that tissue, because the longer those longer duration holds, what we do is we're activating more and more muscle fibers. We are developing lactate, as if you've done them, you know, but low levels of lactate, which has given us enough bump to maintain a little bit of muscle mass, which is important. Cross-sectional area is very, very important, which is muscle mass, very, very important for our upstream approach through here. And now our energy system development, like I've used that word oxidative. We want to create an oxygen-rich environment for you guys, because if you've got an oxygen-rich environment, your stress levels are going to come down. Your mood's going to lift. You're going to become more productive. You're going to recover faster. You won't feel as stodgy. And I've had screenshots from the first workouts from the endurance day where people are burning 1,000 calories in our endurance day, and we're not doing CrossFit shit, HIIT, whatever you want to call it. And the guys are chewing through the work because it's structured, organized training with a targeted end result, which is huge. So we've used this oxidative stress to allow us to keep recovering, keep feeding, keep fueling the system physically and mentally. We're balancing that well-being Venn diagram. We've used escalating density training because we're trying to do more work in time with less lactate. Remember, team sports, 99% of them are all aerobic, alactic, not in the discomfort that you feel in when you're playing is not a way to train. We need to train either side of it to get better, so this bit in the middle gets reduced. Okay, so we use our extensive tempo means, and it's fantastic because our running for oxidative quality submaximal is like strength training for sprinting. It really is, and it's a really important thing to understand, because if you've done these workouts, you'll feel the effect of it. You'll feel it in your legs. It feels like you could have got a few DOMs from running. Who would have thought? So anyway, that's the overview of 1.0, and the lockdown's going on for longer, so the 2.0 is coming out, and we've already put the plan for 3.0 in place. There'll be a complete system, and we're just going to drip feed that out for you, and that's an exclusive right here. So what we've done with our speed here, we've increased the density whilst you were training for acceleration through hills, which is still going to be constant in the program. We've increased the density of sprinting. So where from program 1, accelerate and give yourself time to get up there, we're now bringing that back in and getting you to hold that speed for a little bit longer. So we're starting to load those velocities, get there quicker and hold it for longer. Okay, really, really simple. And if you've got common sense, you can see how and why that's going to develop you. So we're pushing you in that right direction through everything that you've been prepared for, especially for the speed. It's been the long accelerations, it's been the plyometrics, it's been the yielding strength, it's been the tempo, it's all been there feeding up to speed the whole time. Okay, we've increased the density of that, and you're going to love that. The jumps is now more about force conversion and expression. How much has this influenced us? How much have we learned? How much have we grooved? How is our tendon capacity going to hold up? And also, there's some competition in here. When you get inside, it's test, retest, monitor all the time. This is why we built a program that's accountable. And if you don't get better, I'll give you your money back. There's no questions. No questions at all. So when we move into the strength, we've moved from like an eccentric type yielding isometric to an overcoming rate of force development isometric. And it's important that this first gap was addressed early, okay? Because it's a very novel stimulus for most of you. And then also what you're going to see here is that we need to keep pushing things in the right direction. So the overcoming, isometrics allow you to increase your rate of force development and express a little bit more force that you've built in block 1. And when we can start expressing a little bit more force, guess what's going to happen? These reduced volumes, but enough to tickle your fancy, are going to start going, okay, so week 2, I've done a little bit of this. I've started pushing. My brain starts understanding that, I'm going to jump further. And if you can jump further, guess what's going to happen? You're probably going to end up running faster because we're feeding up that system the whole way. And remember, this is still just general prep. This is the most important lesson to understand, the potentness of sequencing and the potentiation effect that we can use from day to day. And a lot of you that are athletes listen to this. Hopefully this is making sense, because I like to educate the people that I work with. So what you can see, and also we're maintaining a little bit of mass here. With our energy system development, there is crossover, there is some extension, which is important, because you can't rob Peter to pay Paul. We can't change everything, because otherwise we change nothing. And we know that our aerobic qualities and our aerobic system is the most important energy system on the planet. And we need to be able to keep nurturing that, because it's going to allow us to keep recovering, but also burn some calories, also increase the oxygenation of the body. Because if we've got a high oxygen content, again, like I say, we're going to recover, we're going to perform better, we're going to recover quicker between sets. And also, yeah, like I said, we'll burn some calories. And we've got one called explosive repeat method, which is building capacity of our explosive qualities. And you're going to love that. You're going to love it when you do it, because this is stuff that's very easy to do, but it's very competitive, and you're going to feel it. You're going to feel the DOMs from some of this stuff, and I hope you really, really enjoy it. So what I want you to do, if you've got any questions, put them in the comments, send me a DM, share this video with everyone that you think needs to see it, because in this time, it's important to stay focused. It's important to stay on track. And if you're a professional, where a lot of professionals have bought this program, remember that you're paid on your ability to not only play the game, but maintain a certain amount of performances per year, stay on the pitch, stay healthy, and doing some of the things that people are doing right now are not going to help you. So share the love, get it round, and watch out for this week where 2.0 comes out and we can start making some real impact. But as always, much love, stay safe, Coach Sportland.